All right. Looks like we got lumber company in the area, or fallen trees or something. I don't know what's going on out there, but they're cutting and cutting and cutting for the last 3-4 hours. But you might hear them in the background. But it's not on my property, so I ain't worried about it. So where do we sit? It looks like no longs today so far. All we got is 5 sales. I haven't even added the stuff up yet, so I don't have a clue where we're at. Let's see. We look at no, 2010. Just another day at the office, huh? 2010. All right. Let's see what Monday brings. Would have liked to see it a good push today, but sometimes you don't get it. So no big deal. We're still sitting firm on the BGH. We talked about this earlier in the week when everything was coming down, but you know, it's not worth taking off right now. We ended up with profit again today, so you just leave it. That would be the first one I would go after if I had a zero balance there, just to, you know, take money off the table. Once you get relaxed enough with it, you just like, you don't get the FOMO. You don't, you know, you don't second guess yourself. You just say, this is what I'm going to do if this happens. You know, stick to your rules. Overall, let's go over here to Mosaic since nothing's actually happening. It's a lot easier to sift through and look and see what's actually bouncing and what's, whoa, man, the STX really took off there, didn't it? Now, a lot of people ask me, you know, it's like, hey, why didn't you just hold on to one? I was like, well, maybe all I had was one. I think I probably had 2, but it doesn't really matter. I have no idea where it's going. I had my specific profit target amount, and I took it. If you can figure out a way to know exactly where the stock price is going, then by all means. That sucker could have gapped up in the morning instead of just charging up. So you could have taken advantage of that way. We've done it in the past. We've shown people how it works. I need to clear this off. These are no longer in use. And the scan, we showed that earlier this morning. So you can see STX, was that on there? No, it was on the previous week. You would have seen a blue triangle on here as well for a trade marker. But these are what the scans look like, right? And we put out, where is that? I guess I put it down. Anyways, there's several different ways to do it, several different strategies. You know, you can use the Vega, you can use the limit, you can use the dividend, you can use the yield. But the main thing that I try to get across to people that I teach this system to is don't go over your max shares. Each trade is 10, okay? If you're under 100,000 in your account, you need to keep your trade shares at 10% of the max shares. Now, if you have 10 trades, that means you can be wrong 10 times. I mean, the market can be coming down, right? Or you can be dollar cost averaging. So if you dollar cost 3, let's look at a chart here. BGH. Okay, so there'd be 1 here. Well, you're already in by 1 here. But let's say you hit another one down. Let's get one that we can see everything. MTB. Oh, no, still can't see everything. LNC. Nope. The heck. Everything can keep moving up. Trying to get that green bar down at the bottom there. Well, let's just do this. You can just stretch that. There we go. Okay. So you've bought in at the top here. There's your mean. Now you're going to bring 50% back, and this is on a 6-month chart, right? Weeklies, not dailies, weeklies. Some people get confused. I do not trade dailies. Even though I trade daily, I don't trade daily charts. It's too much noise. So either way, here's our target points. We're picking points of price and say, well, that might take forever to come down there. I say, and your point? Like the whole time you're making dividends. You break it up any way you want to. Every 30 days you're going to get paid. Now you say, well, you only got 11 shares there. It's like, okay, well, let's go down here and look at what HRZN is. Let's go back over here. So HRZN, right? And let's look at the chart, if I can find it. Okay. So you got 112 shares max. So you come down here, you buy another 11. That's if the max shares stay the same. So you got to know what the max shares are. Or you can just use the, the original 11 and 11, but it moves to 12. You'll be even more below that halfway point. Now it's just got to come down to the zero line, right? That's the 6-month window. So if it comes down here and hits this, now you're in your 3rd cycle, right? So you'd have 30% of your max shares. And max shares constantly change. Now these things move kind of slow, right? So you don't care what it does. You're getting paid the whole time. Don't make the mistake of buying max shares, because then you're stuck at the top and you just keep adding to a position. If that's your strategy, it's not mine. The system works and we don't take any losses because we have a specific plan in mind. So MTB, that was bought yesterday or the day before. Let's go back over here to Mosaic and get this off here. Go back up to the top, what we were looking at. Got a little off track there. So ADI, this one's just kind of bouncing around. MGRC we sold, BLO, oil company. Not a heck of a lot really going on today. They just basically a reset back up to where, everything dropped. Now, you can look into the market any way you want, or you can play by rules. If you feel like the market's going to crash, that's a feeling. I have no idea what it's going to do. I don't really care. I keep doing the same thing every day, pulling money out of the market little by little. These accounts are small. I'm telling you, if you can't manage money at the small side, you're never going to do it when you get some money, because you're gonna take too much risk. You're going to have that, they call that the green hip. You think you're all that in a bag of chips, and you're going to make a bad mistake. And you're going to be back under 100,000 in no time and probably wipe out your account because you do something stupid. It only takes one major mistake. You need to know how to protect your capital. People lose money every day. They just don't get on Twitter and tell everybody about it. There's all these people out there telling, oh, hey, look at me. I'm making a killing off of whatever. And then you never hear from them again because they think they can keep repeating it. It's very hard to repeat big wins. It's real easy to repeat small wins. And I've proven this over at least the last 6 months. So if you haven't paid attention or you've never heard of us before, you can get on and watch for a little while. It's boring as hell, and it's meant to be that way. Don't fall into the trap of quick money. It's like a drug. You'll just keep sticking it in your arm, and you'll need more of it. So you'll spend or you'll sell everything you got to try to get that fix. It's a bad habit. It's gambling. But if you don't lose any money, then you're kind of like, what's going on here? But everybody wants that $1 billion like next week, right? Of course. Go buy the lottery ticket, see how that works out for you. 175 million to 1. It's true, the more risk you take, the bigger the payoff, but you have to think about it. It's like, how much you going to spend on lottery tickets before you hit the million? Chances are you never will. But some people believe they're, onto something. It's all random. Doesn't matter if you buy 1 ticket or 1,000 tickets, your odds are still the same. But don't tell that to some people. They'll get mad at you. It's like, well, you just keep buying them lottery tickets. I crack up when I see these guys come up with these systems, and it's like, well, how much have you won? You don't hear very much from them after you start asking some serious questions. We post all our wins on here. Only the 3 accounts that we show. I'm not, at liberty to show all accounts that I manage. Everything we show on here is under $100,000. I think we got one in the 20s, one in the 30s, and one in the 60s, something like that. This one I think's got 62.5. Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's a combo there. This one here, 69, almost 70,000. But with dividends, just keep paying. I mean, if you're making 10% on a $60,000 account, it's 3 years. Just if you had dividends, 3 years you have 100,000. Now you're moving up to the next level. That's not even adding extra money into your account. It's just managing and following the rules. What you pick to invest in is up to you. I don't care what the company does, says, whatever. As long as I see that dividend amount on the screen. What was it? Disney. Disney used to pay a dividend at one time. I don't see any dividend down there. But man, they are pushing it. Old Jim Cramer pushing it. I'm like, yep, that's what I want. I want something I put my money in. I get nothing in return for it. It has to go up. It can only do one thing for you to be profitable. Here, it can stay the same. It can go up. It can go down. I make money all directions. Any more questions? I mean, it's that simple. It just may not be what you think it ought to pay, but what you do is you take money out of the market consistently and never take a loss. You're going to be a winner in the end. Yeah, you can hear those chainsaws in the background. Must be a big tree. Somebody's probably clearing something. Oh. Now, I don't care what happened with STX. Seagate Technology, right? Hard drives, or I think that's what they make, hard drives, yeah. And, everything else just, they kind of move in spurts. You kind of like, who's playing, who's not playing. If it doesn't go your way, you don't cash out, you just wait for the next opportunity. Set yourself up to be a winner. Don't wait for something to happen. That's reactionary. Be proactive. Set yourself up to be a winner. WABC. I don't think we're going to get too much more movement. Take a look at the cryptos, because we cashed out a 2 today just on, what was it, BCH. We play it really small when you have this type of these type of price, especially on Bitcoin. Yeah, we're still sitting on Bitcoin. We bought Bitcoin 2 days ago. We buy it real small, like 1%. So yeah, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoins. Yeah, Litecoin we cashed out on those two. So yeah, another $55 or so. It's easy money. There's no shorting, so it's people that just decide to take profit so it comes back down. I like the idea that there's no short side to it. They say it's not an efficient market, but that's the lie. It can't be. You can't manipulate it. How are you going to manipulate it? You can talk about it all you want, like Sailor does, you know. Buy and hold, buy and hold. Like, you're a fool if you buy and hold it. That's the easy way to get trapped in it. You know, I've got like what, 1% at 60, somewhere in the 60s. Yeah, like 60, whatever, 6210. I think it is. Shit, let me look back. I don't even know if I had something purchased that high. Yeah, 6210. Yep. Just looking back in the fills. So it's got to go 10% higher than that. So it's going to be in the 66 range. It never got that high, did it? No, I got 64 or something. Yeah, so we're going to be adjusting our little chart on that. Just checking some emails here. Since we're so slow. But you have to get used to the dead spots. This is where people make mistakes. They feel like they always have to be doing something. And it's a hard thing to learn, especially when you're young. You know, your brain's going crazy. Maybe you hadn't made any money in your life yet. The people that really get into trouble are the trust fund babies that are given money, and they're like, hey, this is a great way. You know, they got a ton of money. I say, well, I don't know what a ton is anymore, but let's say they got a couple $1 million, right, and they start trading and they start losing money quickly. And so they keep doubling down, you know. Maybe they hit here and they lose some there, but it's just like they never work for it, so they don't care, you know, if they lose it or not. But before long, that account's looking pretty, you know, screwed up. And now the pressure starts to come on, so they start taking a lot more risk. And before long, that account just evaporates, and that couple $1 million, stock market just took it, you know. So you don't want to get yourself into that type of thinking, because when you're small, when you're first starting out, you're going to have a small account. Like, let's just say you have 10, 15, 20, 25,000. You need to know how to manage that account. If you can learn how to manage it when you're young, let me tell you, you know, by the time you're 50, 30 years of just messing around in the stock market, good and bad times, if you manage it correctly and don't take losses, guarantee you'll be a multimillionaire. There's nothing else that can happen if you don't take losses. And that's the main thing. Somebody like Warren Buffett, I mean, that's the only thing that I really follow from him, is don't lose money. Taught me an interesting lesson, so I started looking at it like to the T. Don't lose money. If you don't lose money, it grows fast. It grows faster than you think. When you're small, it doesn't seem like it, right? Because you're hearing everybody else is making all this money. But who are you actually listening to? You're listening to millionaires, or you're listening to, you know, the guys on Twitter or YouTube. Yeah, well, they have money, and they're telling you to bet big, and they're telling you to hold. You know, that's how you're going to make money. And that's not the way you're going to make money. Used to be, you know, somebody would tell you, just buy and hold and sit on it for the rest of your life. I said, well, if you did that with gold, it was 1,700, 12 years, 13 years ago? Well, it's 1,700 or 1,800 somewhere now. So that same gold that you bought, it's worth no more. You have to be making dividends. If you think if gold's gonna go to 3,500 and you've got 1 ounce at 1,700 or 1,800, whatever it's going for, you'll be waiting a long time. Maybe it goes there one day. I don't know. But that's gonna be one time. But you better have a shitload of cash. It's not gonna, mysteriously turn into $1 million. It's just gonna double in value if it goes up to 35. You'll have $3,500 worth. That's 100% return on your investment. But how long is it going to take? Oh. So yeah, we're still looking at what, 880 on the 14th. So that's what, 9 days. See what 9 days look like here. So 2 to 11. Oh, we're up a little bit higher. Yeah, about $100. So we'll see. Yeah, the dividends in the middle of the month just kind of like evaporate, and when you've got very few dividend paying quarterly dividend payers, it's the monthlies that usually come in around the mid-month, and then at the start of the month. That's where you're going to see it. You can see it here. You can see a little bit more here, and they vary because you're in and out of the market. Now, they might be a little bit lower, they might be a little bit higher, I don't know. But we consistently want to trade. That's where you're going to bump your percentages up. But nothing's going on. Everything is just kind of like, it's weird. You get these times in the market, and I guess people are just taking small profits. Because I'm looking at all the trading going on. I mean, there's a lot of volume. Like Ethereum's at 56,000, and remember, this is being traded in fractions. Very, very few. The largest trade size I see there's 15, and there's 33. Yeah. 33 is about the highest that I see. So what's that? 33 by, that's about $100,000. So somebody's got some coin in there. But what are they looking to take out of the market? So that's the other side. I mean, once you got the money, right, then it's a little bit easier as long as you're scaling into your trades. It's very hard to lose money. But people, I mean, it's amazing how fast, because people want to bet. They want to bet against themselves, basically. They throw all this money into the market, and they expect this huge return. They want to tell all their friends about it, and it just never happens. Every once in a while you hear about the guy that's just killing it on options, or some guy that got lucky on futures. But if you tell them, so what was your plan? The plan was to make money and to make it big. But what probably happened in a lot of cases, and they'll never probably tell you this, is they put in an order and maybe fucked up or whatever, and they went off and did something, and they came back a week later. Similar to Bitcoin, there was a lot of Bitcoin billionaires made when they're like, oh shit, I bought that stuff in 2013, I totally forgot about it. I honestly have a bunch of cryptocurrency sitting on a wallet, and I honestly don't know how much I have in there. And I'm like, well, when this market finally decides to come down and reset, then what I'm going to do is take a look at it. But I don't really care. I mean, the crypto that I'm trading right now, I make money every day off of it. But we're getting a little bit of a push on this one here, just sitting here looking at it. And I don't sit here and stare at charts, but you watch that MTB, I don't know what's going on. We got, what, 7 minutes? Is it going to just jump up there and smack that 55? I don't know. Might. Just seems like a lot of cash coming into the market here at the close, and that's weird on a Friday. And I don't look at volume. I mean, I can see the volume on the charts on Coinbase on their Is it Coinbase Pro? Yeah, and Coinbase Pro. It's it's an okay platform. I mean, it seems like it updates pretty quickly and everything's live, but there's very little functionality. I mean, I don't use indicators for good reason. I mean, I think they have like a line chart, candle chart, and 2 overlays, and they're both moving averages. Not that I would use any of them, but that's it. So that should tell you something. You can make money without fucking indicators. Indicators are a joke. It's a tool, right? Now, if you used it to a T, you could probably make it work. I don't know what the percentages would be, but if you're using indicators to make money, you're going to lose money, I'm telling you. How you make money is learning how to manage money and learning how to take profits. If you're scared to death that something's just going to like take off and you go, oh man, I should have stayed in it. Well, you're a fool. That's all I can say. There's too many people that sit there thinking, yeah, you keep hearing it. Everything's going to the moon. It's like, whatever. You keep thinking it. If it happens, right? I don't care if it does, great. You know, just makes my life easier. A lot of people will be, yeah, I called that. And it's like, whatever. It's going to come back down eventually. They can pump as much money as they want in the market. Eventually, there's going to be a peak. We don't know what it is, but the hype, the volatility right now at the top, you can just look at the size of the candles and the price movement and the amount of interest that's coming into the market. When that starts to come back down, when you start to see that volatility start to come down, that's when I'd start to get worried about it coming down. But all these knuckleheads that are running around telling you, oh, hey, you know, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. But if everybody's putting their money into cryptos, what do you think's going to happen? Supply and demand, right? Price is going to keep on rising. But that's why the people with, you know, the whales like Saylor are trying to tell everybody, buy and hold. You have to hoodle it. You know, they've got an acronym for fucking everything today. Don't listen to these suckers, man. Take your money, you know, hold a tiny bit of whatever you made on the profit, hold that in crypto. I mean, whatever. I mean, if you make 50 bucks, hold 50. If it's Bitcoin, it's going to be like 0.000 whatever. Just keep adding it up like that, but continue to trade it. Because if you get stuck at the top with everything that you had in the crypto, then it has to come all the way back up for you to make any money. No doubt. It's got to go up. It can't go down for you to make money. There's no shorting. Now, if you want to go do, I'm sure there's some places doing derivatives, but I don't know. I'm not interested in that, paying higher commissions and all that bullshit. I'm more than eager to take a couple hundred, $300, $400, $500, $600 a week out of the cryptos. And then, you know, just to be a part of it. Why not? Then you can't say you didn't take it. And I don't know how many thousands I've made off cryptocurrency just trading it. There's no telling. I don't keep track of it. And I don't go all in. Like I got about 30,000 in Coinbase right now. And I don't keep all my money in it either. Once it gets up to a certain level, I take some out. I don't want them holding all my money. You can't make any dividends off it. I go throw it in another account and say, okay, well, this is specifically for, you know, if I made off of cryptos, I put it into a regular brokerage account and I start making money off of dividends. If I need more money, I take it out of the brokerage account and go back into Coinbase. There's no fees. You know, it's going to get up to, you know, if it gets up to about 50, we get a hard move higher, you know, I'll cash out some more. I hold 4 different cryptos, but I don't hold a ton of it. I just in case it decides to go skyrocketing. In the event that happens, if it goes up to 100,000, I can make 10,000. That's 10%, right? And I continue to trade it. Just going to be, the size of those trades are going to be quite a bit bigger. And then you can probably go down to 5%. You know, you just got to go down to 1%. I'm trading 1% of Bitcoin right now. It's just, it's not really moving. If it starts picking up, maybe we go up to 2%. But I could be wrong 100 times. Well, looks like the weekend is here. Decent week. Doesn't look like we're going to get that to hit there, so. Just remember, staring at the screen ain't going to make it happen. But the Bitcoin is all around. That's another thing too, you know. Bitcoin, trade it on the daily chart, put in your orders, forget about it, come back. Check it, you know. You don't have to watch it all day. You just put in your order. If it starts flying, then you can be like, oh yeah, okay. I need to put in some more orders. But yep, I think the market's closed now. Should be. Let's go back over here to Classic and see what happened. Yeah, 472. Yeah, 476. Pretty equal. And I wonder why that is, right? Because the accounts kind of mirror each other. Yep. But dividend this, dividend that, trade it, make some money. All right, I'm out, and everybody have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. New scans are coming out Sunday. If you want one, email me, T1 Recon Rider. I'll get you one. If it's your first time here, I'll give it to you for free. Normally they're $5 a week. And don't care if you want one or not. Doesn't matter to me. Anyhow, have a great weekend.